I mean, thank God it's not happening in the United States because there goes my lunch plan.
You have milkshakes for lunch.
I made that joke before, like where I grew up. You'd get a milkshake and a fry, and then you would dip the fry in the shake, and that was coined F, a fat F special. You can figure out the middle word, but it's that it's why do they sell salted caramels? It's that the salt and the sweet goes together. So the salt on the fries and then the shake.
Mm.
But it,
Mm.
I know you don't really eat McDonald's. Like, that's all my dad fed me when I was younger. That and canned food and microwave hot dogs. But you could never go to McDonald's and the goddamn ice cream machine's working. I mean, if you Google that sometimes, I know again you don't go to McDonald's. If you Google that, the ice cream machine at McDonald's is always broke. And then it's like, well, I saw this. I'm like, oh, this is about as funny as when I went to KFC and they were out of chicken. But what's funny is they McDonald's sells a lot of like frozen Cokes too. So if you go to get a frozen Coke, that goddamn machine's been out all winter too. It's you can't get shit. Oh my god, I gotta read this message. I'm one of our other YouTube episodes about being understaffed or something. Someone replied, and this is hilarious. I stopped at 4 places for coffee this morning. 1 was closed, Starbucks. 2 were open, but we're not servicing customers yet. I broke down and stopped at McDonald's. The employees just decided themselves they weren't working that day and didn't even look up from their phones. I just drove off. So my guess is if I look at this article somewhere, they're going to talk about a labor shortage.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The 3 things that they point to are Brexit, just supply chain issues, and then labor shortages, for sure.
It's not Brexit, Keen.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to get blamed for everything because it's the easy thing to say. No, it's supply chain, and it's people don't want to work. If you I wasn't really watching the show. I turned TV shows on for background noise when I'm working.
Yeah.
But there's that Mark Wahlberg show, not the Wahlburger. It's actually about Mark Wahlberg called Wall Street, like WHL Street. And I caught little bits and pieces of it. They tried opening a Wahlburger in the UK, and my guess is it's probably closed by now based on the tone in the TV series. No offense if it's still open. It just sounded like it wasn't going so good. But I remember catching a little part of they were expecting to get like a flood of applicants, and they got like hardly any people that applied to go work there, and so they were like severely understaffed. And I remember that popping up somewhere in one of the episodes, and I'm not wondering, are we all that surprised that UK is also dealing with the same, labor shortage shit that we are right now?
Not at all. Not at all. We're so interconnected globally that if our supply chain is falling apart, then yeah, it makes sense.
So I'm just like I'm gonna go look afterwards, but I'll bet that Wahlburger's probably out of business, and it might have been poor execution. But if they were that severely understaffed, again, it's one of those things that when you're a brand new restaurant, you get one shot. Most people come in, and if they got a bad experience, either service or they're not coming back. It's that's why a lot of places do the soft open where they're like, hey, we are going to screw up. So, and you try to like set that tone like this is a soft open. But if you're brand new in a market and you got terrible service, you just don't get a second try.
Yeah.
And if they were that severely understaffed, and it's like you see the harm it causes small business owners. And you can say they're larger than small business if you want, but anybody, you just see how it hurts business when you don't have the staff. And, the comment here from this person about the McDonald's people having their faces in their phones, that's everywhere. This is why I hate online shopping, but I love it because I don't have to deal with the jag-off in the retail shop or the restaurant that is more interested in their Twitter feed than doing their job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then as a manager, if you say anything to them, you're a shitty place to work, you're an asshole, my boss is a micromanager, it's like, you're not even on break. You're supposed to be fucking working right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, can you just put your fucking phone down for a minute and do your job? And that's like rampant right now. Everywhere you go, it doesn't matter. That's just what's going on. Yeah,
Yeah.
you roll into the gas station and you're trying to pay, and the guy's like scrolling through his phone. It's like, do I need to ding the little bell right here, even though I'm in your face right now? Like, we're 3 feet apart, and you're not even acknowledging the customers here. I'm just gonna go beat on this bell. No, the bell's supposed to be when there's no one at the front counter, Kane. But at this point, what's the difference? He's
Yeah.
not here. He's not here anyways because he's off in TikTok land.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know what happened? He opened TikTok up. It was some chick in like a bikini dancing around with her double D's bouncing around, and he's off in La La Land looking at some chick dancing while he's supposed to be working. So
Yeah.
put your phone somewhere. Stop flirting with your chicks on TikTok. Ring up my shit on the cash register, please. So
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
Kate,
No, go on, sorry.
we don't work anymore. Like,
It's true. It's true. I mean, I've had multiple experiences where it does seem like we've talked about this before, but inconveniencing the person on the other side of the conversation. And I know we've kind of taken this conversation to a customer service standpoint, but I highlighted this little paragraph, James. I thought it was interesting just to point to how kind of, again, interconnected everything is, stuff that you don't realize actually has an impact on the supply chain. And it's the idea that because I mean, COVID has stopped people from taking their driver's test, and therefore Britain is short 100,000 drivers. I mean, that was mind blowing when I read that. Just how quickly things fall apart.
it's back to what I say, where we're all intertwined together.
Mm-hmm.
And we live in a world now where people look down on that truck driver job. We talk about it on other episodes. I got attacked one time because people on LinkedIn were saying they couldn't get a job, and I'm like, we're short. This was years ago, Kane. We were short a crazy amount of truck drivers. And I'm like, go drive a truck that can make 55 grand a year. I got lit up for that. That job sucks. It's a meaningless job. It's a dirty job. No one wants that job. I went to college. I'm like, but you're sitting home broke right now. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
But wait a minute. You want someone else to do that job so you can get your pizza rolls delivered to Target so you can buy those one day. And it's kind of a weird thing to me. It's like, well, it's too good for you because you went to college, but you also think someone else should go do those jobs so you can benefit from them. The conversation I got, that conversation went downhill quick, but
Yeah.
the thought that people shouldn't do these shitty jobs at all, but this person goes to the spa all the time and has, some person scrub the cheese off the bottom of their feet. And I go, well, do you think that person, that's their passion? Like, do you think they just like scrubbing your fucking feet all day? Yeah, they're trying to feed their family, but they want someone to do that job and scrub the cheese off the bottom of their feet. This is a very weird place we are right now, where we think we're too good to do all these jobs, but we like the way we live, so we still want, in these people's minds, the peasants should go do these jobs.
Yeah.
And this is what we got right now. We got people, in a sense, that aren't really contributing to society, but saying, I don't want to do that job because it's too bad for me, but I want someone else to do that job to make my life easier. What the fuck? Okay, like if the trash man stops picking up trash and the truck driver stop bringing our toilet paper and our hell, did you see what happened with toilet paper last year? Holy shit. Right. It was Armageddon. World was falling apart over toilet paper. People are fighting at Costco over it. What happens when these truck drivers aren't there to bring your toilet paper to the Costco no more? What happens when do you think some of these linemen like climbing up trees in the middle of storms with 122,000 volt shit, an inch from their death to go make sure you got power after a storm? Kane, if everyone stopped doing these jobs that you think are crappy and no one should do, we're going to be back to living in homemade log cabins and eating squirrels.
Yeah.
You ever eat a squirrel?
No, no.
Yeah, cool. I haven't either. I don't know.
I was waiting on a story there. Yeah.
No, I got nothing. I mean, I hear stories about people that eat squirrels, but it's a general frustration of it's that thought of everyone wants to be a social media manager and work from a Starbucks and make 85 grand a year. And then they'll say the Starbucks job is shitty, but they want someone there. And that barista doesn't make their, triple foam, half decaf, add ice and 3 extra shakes in a venti cup perfect. They get pissed off. I don't think the business world gets better anytime soon. And it's starting to spill over, Ken. Everywhere you go. I was listening to someone that has kids say they can't even get, they've been trying to get a fruit punch. Don't quote me on this because I don't know. Capri Sun fruit punch or some shit for like 3 months. They can't get it. Wow. It's like you're starting to see more and more cracks of just we can't get certain things. Now, no one's not going to die if they can't get a Capri Sun, right? But it's the bigger story here. Why can't you get the Capri Sun?
Yeah.
My dad, it's back to like last summer when you were trying to get milk and stuff and it was hard to get milk. Yeah. For a while, when my dad did his Kroger order, he was able to get everything. Now he's back to that thing where like a third of his order is substitutions. It's like, well, we're not on a big hoarding deal again like we were last year. So why are we so short on stuff?
Right.
But, I see like down here, they're saying Nando's shut down 50 outlets because of a chicken shortage.
Yeah.
It's imagine how that affects. You think, oh, Nando's is big. It's like, what about those franchisees who put all their money into that place to get their one restaurant and that is their livelihood?
Yep. Good point.
That sucks. And then KFC weren't, hell, KFC ran out of chicken before when we didn't even have a supply chain short. So they're probably they're screwed.
Yeah.
Compounded issue. This is what happens when people don't go to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add in COVID. And at times, did you realize how fast the world fell apart last year?
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this in private conversation, how quickly things fell apart.
And you thought the government was going to come save your ass, right? Do you think the FEMA people are just going to show up and feed 330 million people? No, you better go cook some squirrels. So,
oh dear.
Yeah, it's man, we all got to get up in the morning and go contribute to this world. And without it, it falls apart, and I can't even get a goddamn milkshake.
I'm with you.
There's more stories like this, Kane, that we don't know about.
Yeah. Right. These are big names that get the press for sure.
Of course, McDonald's is going to get the press, right? Not a big deal. We're going to die without milkshakes. When you start looking at the broader issues, we still have a massive shortage of people not working. The supply chain issues of people actually delivering this stuff. If you look at the cargo ships, how they continue to get backed up. They're saying that
right.
We might not, like, it's going to be tough getting Christmas gifts this year. I saw some article. He says you're going to have a tough time getting a turkey for Thanksgiving. And then I'm going to go, shit, they get like 25 turkeys in my yard every day. I'm going to go fucking blast one. We're deep frying a turkey this year. But they're projecting this out 4, 5, 6 months, Kane. Like, you're not gonna be able to get a turkey. Cargo ships are backed up. Truck driver shortage. It's if they're extending that out view like 6 months, and this is not a short-term thing.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yep.
And I think we keep looking at the stock market and going, oh, the economy is healthy. And I think people don't realize that stock market performance does not equate economy health.
Exactly.
Sometimes they do. But we're so caught up in Dow hit record highs, S&P record highs, Dow record highs. We're like, oh shit, the economy's booming. Until you read these stories. And it's like, well, does it feel like if you talk to the 50 people, the stores at Nando's right now, does it look like it's booming for them? And to the Arby's that still can't open on the weekends in my town because they can't get enough people. Go ask them if it feels like the economy's booming. So car dealers can't get cars right now. You can't buy. There's not a heavy duty truck within like 3 states of me right now. You can't buy a heavy duty pickup truck. It's hard to find a regular pickup truck.
Wow.
So this all comes with a cost.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long it takes us to get out of it too, because I like you've pointed to it, multiple times, but the underlying issues seem so deep. Like motivation to get people back to work, I think it must be like one of the hardest things to fix.
Well, what did we think was going to happen? It's like the people trying to get the companies trying to get people to come back into the office. It's like once you allow them to be home, did you think it was going to be easy to get them to come back? Once you allowed people to sit home and make a bunch of unemployment money and then not pay their rent or school loans on top of it, do you think they're going to want to go back to work and pay their school loans and pay their rent? This is what they always talk about when you got to kind of stop the government from giving too much free shit, because once people get used to it, Kane, let's face it, nearly everyone would like to sit home and make a bunch of money and not have to work. Well, now we got a taste of it, and the rest of the world's got to suffer. We'll do another episode on that. It's a thought of even rich people, should they have to contribute to society? Should you only be allowed to consume? And the question becomes, what happens when there's more people consuming than those working? And we have a smaller percentage of people not working right now, and everyone's obviously consuming, and we got these problems. So what would it be like if we had 30% unemployment, but everyone had the money to consume?
That's a really interesting thought experiment.
Yeah, it's not what I want to live through, because I think the shelves would be bare, and there would be a supply chain everything problem, because we're too dependent upon everybody else right now. I don't go in my backyard to get tomatoes. Like it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that was a really interesting point, because now I'm thinking, well, there are like 200 million or so working people in America, 220 I think it is, and there are 10 million open jobs. So, and we're struggling this much with that kind of like 5% dip or 5% gap. Like imagine if it was any bigger than that. My goodness.
Yeah, it would have sucked. I mean, there would be a tipping point where it doesn't have to get down to 70% unemployment for it to all fall apart. It's probably closer to like 25% is when it would all fall apart. Maybe 20%.
Yeah.
Because give me one thing that you're completely self-reliant on to help sustain your life.
Yeah, nothing.
No, you are relying upon everybody else.
Yeah.
We just don't seem to get that as a society anymore. We want to consume, but we don't want to contribute. So,
great point.
This is where we're at. But I don't know. I didn't want McDonald's anyways today. I'm gonna go find some queso for me or something for lunch. It's lunchtime. All right, I'll catch you.